You may think a bird was simply passing by, but what happened next might suggest something far more unusual. What if I told you that some birds can recognize your face, remember it for years, and even change their behavior because of what they know about you? Most people believe birds are simply flying from one place to another, looking for food, avoiding danger, and surviving another day. But that's only part of the story. Maybe you've noticed a crow watching you from the same tree every morning, a robin appearing whenever you're working in the garden, or a pigeon that somehow always seems to cross your path. You probably dismissed it as coincidence. But what if those encounters weren't random at all? Scientists have discovered something remarkable about bird intelligence that is changing the way we understand the natural world. And the final discovery may completely change the way you look at every bird you meet. The moment you step outside, before you hear a single chirp, before you see movement in the trees, you've probably already been noticed. Birds spend most of their lives watching, not because they're curious, because survival depends on it. Every moving object is instantly analyzed. Friend, threat, predator, or something worth remembering. To us, a neighborhood looks ordinary. To a bird, it's a constantly changing map filled with thousands of tiny details. Every person walking by becomes another piece of information. What clothes do they wear? Do they feed animals? Do they walk a dog? Do they move quickly? Do they often look up? Birds quietly collect these details every single day. And here's what's surprising. Many of them don't forget. But remembering a person is only the beginning. What birds do with that information is far more fascinating. Imagine walking past the same crow every morning. You never feed it, you never touch it, you simply exist. Yet after weeks, it reacts differently when it sees you. That isn't your imagination. Research has shown that several bird species, including crows, ravens, magpies, pigeons, and mockingbirds, can recognize individual human faces. Not just familiar people, specific individuals. Some studies found that crows remembered people associated with danger years after a single encounter, even warning other crows about them. What's even stranger is that young birds which had never met those people sometimes learned to avoid them simply by watching older birds. Knowledge spread through the flock, almost like stories passed from one generation to the next. But facial recognition isn't even their most impressive ability, because birds don't just remember who you are, they remember how you behave. Think about your daily routine. Leaving for work, walking your dog, watering your plants, sitting on your porch with a cup of coffee. To you, it's routine. To birds, it's predictable. Many species quickly learn patterns. They know which houses refill bird feeders, which parks become quiet in the afternoon, which people drop crumbs, which children chase them away. Over time, they build detailed mental maps, not using technology, using memory. Memory helps them save energy. Instead of searching randomly every day, they return to places that have worked before. But what happens when your routine suddenly changes? The answer surprises almost everyone. Here's something most people never think about. Birds don't understand human language, but they are experts at reading body language. Long before humans spoke, animals communicated through movement. Birds still rely on those signals today. If someone walks directly towards them, they prepare to fly. If someone moves slowly and calmly, they often stay where they are. A relaxed posture, gentle movements, predictable behavior. These tiny details matter far more than words. Some birds become noticeably less fearful around people who consistently move calmly. They're constantly asking one silent question: are you safe? And sometimes a bird reaches a surprising conclusion. Instead of flying away, it moves closer. Why would a wild animal willingly stay near a human? The answer reveals just how intelligent birds really are. Picture yourself sitting quietly in a park. A bird lands only a few feet away. It isn't begging for food. It isn't injured. It simply stays, watching, listening. Many people assume the bird is unusually friendly. Sometimes that's true, but often the bird has already evaluated the situation. It has watched your movements, compared you with previous experiences, measured the risks, and decided that staying is safer than flying away. That's an extraordinary calculation for such a small creature. Every unnecessary flight burns valuable energy. Every mistake could be fatal. Remaining nearby isn't random. It's a carefully made decision based on observation, memory, and experience. But the rarest behavior comes later, and very few people ever notice it. Have you ever stepped outside and suddenly realized something felt different? No singing, no chirping, just silence? Many experienced birdwatchers recognize this instantly. Birds often become unusually quiet when they detect danger nearby. A hawk circling overhead, a cat creeping through the grass, a snake moving beneath the bushes. Sometimes even an approaching storm. Silence becomes communication. One bird notices the danger first, others respond. Within seconds, the entire landscape changes. Most people walk right through it, never realizing the forest has already sounded its silent alarm. But birds communicate in another way that's even more remarkable. Not through sound, through trust. So, what do birds really know about you? Not your name, not your job, not your dreams, but they know something surprisingly important. Your habits, your movements, your consistency. Whether you're predictable, whether you're calm, whether you're dangerous, whether you're worth avoiding or worth remembering. To a bird, you're not just another human. You're part of its environment, a moving landmark, a familiar presence, a memory. Every encounter quietly adds another page to that story. And perhaps that's the most fascinating part of all. Without saying a single word, you've been communicating with birds your entire life. The next time a bird lands nearby, before assuming it's just another ordinary moment, take a second look. Maybe it's recognizing someone it has seen hundreds of times before. Maybe it's deciding whether to stay or fly away. Maybe it's quietly reading your movements the same way you admire its feathers. We often believe we're the ones observing nature, but perhaps nature has been observing us all along. Birds may never understand our language, yet in their own extraordinary way, they know far more about us than most people ever imagine. So the next time a bird seems to be watching you, don't immediately look away, because what appears random may not be random at all. It may be one of the oldest conversations between humans and the wild, spoken without a single word. If you've ever had a bird repeatedly appear near you or behave in a way that felt impossible to explain, share your story in the comments. You might discover that you're not the only one who's experienced it. And if you enjoy uncovering the hidden world of bird behavior, subscribe, because some of nature's greatest mysteries are hiding in plain sight.